previous video we have seen that how to means create the architecture of institutional repository or digital library, and we have discussed that what are the contents we can add in the digital library or institutional repository. In this video we are going to see that how to create the community. So let's see how we can do this. After installing the Linux with DSpace, to get this screen you have to open the browser. You can go to internet option and open the browser, and then you have to add the address here, and that is localhost colon 8080 slash jspui. So you will get this screen. Now after getting this screen, you have to log in first, and then you can plan for your community collection and adding item. So what could be your ID and password? It is decided at the time of installing DSpace in Linux. When we add the user at the last step in installation of DSpace in Linux, we create one admin user, and that admin user detail I have given here. The user ID is dspace@gmail.com, password is dspace. So first you have to log in, and then you have to create the community collection and add the item inside that. So let me show you how to log in first. So in this screen you can see there is a button sign on to, and there are some options here. You click on my DSpace and it will show you the email, the login window, where you have to enter the email address. The same address is your user ID and the password. Remember here, sometimes user get confused that my user ID, why it is the email ID. It is given in the DSpace for easy communication with the user. When I take it as an email address as my user, so it will be easy for me also to log in, and I will not have to remember two user ID. The same email ID can be used for communicating via email. So I have given here, and now if I click on login, I can observe that few changes. You can see earlier the screen was like this, but when I went to login, it is appearing like this. Okay, so now what is the next step in order to proceed in DSpace? That we have to create the community and collection. So there are two ways. First, by now you must have planned your architecture or framework of your DSpace or the repository which you have planned to have in your repository. So I am going to show you with some examples so it will be more clear. I have planned that my top level community name will be, for example, I take as a librarian guide. This will be my top level community, and below that I'm not going to have any sub community because I have very limited document in my library. So I'm going to have the collection name as I'm going to have two collection only. The first one is e-newsletter, and the second collection name is the ISO images. Okay, let me have the video also, YouTube DSpace video. Okay, so I'm going to have three collection in one repository community, and inside this the e-newsletter, the ISO images and the DSpace video, I'll be adding the items. Okay, so let me show you how to create the community and sub community and collection first, and then we'll proceed for adding the item to the repository. So in order to create the community, you can go to administer, and now you can observe the changes here. Some of the top level menu with drop down facilities added here, so you can use all these options in order to create the different as per your requirement. You can create community, you can create sub community, collection, and you can change the layout and assign the privilege to manage the collection or community. So here you can see in content there is a option communities and collections, so you just click on this. So as soon as you click on this, it will show you communities and collection, and there will be one button create top level community. So you just click on this, so it will open the just like one form, and where you have to use the name of your top level community. So as I planned, my top level community will be librarian guide. You can describe your community name here. Librarian guide is an outcome of the problem faced during the practice on different software. So having this platform to share the ideas with friends. This is description. If you want to add some introductory text using HTML, let me show you. I'll just take one example here. I'll show the HTML tag, one HTML tag only, and close with H2, and then how it will appear, we'll see. Here you can define the copyright text. It is plain text, and sidebar text. Sidebar means this side when your community appears, what will be displayed, so you can add here. And also you can upload a logo, and if you are not interested to upload a logo, you just click on create. So you can see here, when you clicked on create community, the top level librarian guide is visible. This is my main community, and below that description is also coming as I gave in the HTML, and you can notice that the font text is quite big compared to the normal font. Why? Because I added in H2 in before the text and after the text, that's why it is coming. So this is the step to create community. For example, I again go back and I can notice that my community is created here, and I want to have another sub community inside this. So what I can do, first I have to log in. If already logged in, you have to skip this, and then you go to this community, and you will observe at the right side that there are 6 buttons, which is allowing me either I can create directly collection or I can create the sub community. So as I planned, I do not want to create the sub community, so I'm not going to create this sub community, but the procedure is same. The way you created community, you can create the sub community inside this community. So I'll be discussing this part later, but as I planned in my this this repository, my top level community is librarian guide, and I'm going to have 3 collection inside this community. So I'm going to have the collection create collection, and now I have to describe the collection in detail. In that, new items should be publicly readable. Yes, I agree. Some users will be able to submit to this collection. Okay, I agree. Now these are the steps which will allow or create the barrier between submission of article and repository, and it will pass through one metadata step, editing metadata step by the uh, by the submitter. Let me explain. Suppose I am a research scholar and I have submitted one document to the repository, to the library. So if these options are not checked, what will happen when the submitter or librarian submits the document to the repository, to this collection? It will not go through this barrier. Directly it will get submitted to the collection. But if I check this, submission workflow will include an accept, reject, edit metadata step. So what will happen before going to the collection and sitting in the repository, it will ask to check the metadata step, and if it is not qualifying all your requirement, then you can reject it. So it will again go to the unsuccessful submission, and again you have to follow the instruction. So here I am not going to check now. I will take another example, and so I will take the default one and click on next. When I click on next, I am supposed to describe the collection name. So my collection name is e-newsletter, and here I can provide the short description. Okay, let me write only name here, and here I am going to write the monthly e-newsletter is published with technical solutions about library by Mr. D.P. Tripathi. The same can also be downloaded at his website www.dptripathi.in. Okay, so I have written simple introductory text, and if I want to use HTML, so I can use the HTML here like P. I'll give in paragraph, and I'm breaking it here, so my text will break here, and I'll close the paragraph here. Okay, so this is my introductory text. Copyright text, if I give all copyrights reserved for this collection. Sidebar text, you may download the e-newsletter at www.dptripathi.in/lg e-newsletter at www.lg download lg and volume 1 number 4.pdf. And if you want to hyperlink, so you have to give a href equal to, and this I'll close, and I'll give target equal to blank. So it will open the same in blank page, so it will be easy. So I have given here the HTML, and I'll close with this A, and here I'll close the paragraph also. Okay, so I have used this. If you want to give the license detail, provenance, all these you can give. And also you can use the logo. For example, I just want to show you the logo how to add. So I'll take this example as let me show you. Okay, I'm taking this, and now I'll just click on next. Now here it is asking authorization to submit. So you have to decide who will be authorized to submit the content to this collection. So you can select the e-people here. You see there is only one e-people. Later you can add also. So after submitting, you can see the email address is appearing here, and now click on next. Now you can see all the details which I gave is added here, and finally you can update. There are some other options which I'll be discussing in detail when we edit the collection. So just click on update. So my one collection, you can see that it is added inside this community librarian guide, and I have to add my second collection, that is the ISO image. Okay, let me show you how to add ISO image. After adding the collection, remember you don't have to add the collection or item right now. We will see later. To create another collection, you just click on librarian guide, that is your main community. So it will take you one step back, and you can notice here that your collection name is visible here. So I'm going to click on create collection again, and this time I am checking this option. The submission workflow will include an accept, reject, edit metadata step, and then click on next. Okay, and here I am going to create the YouTube DSpace videos. The collection name will be DSpace workshop videos, and the same way you can define these videos are prepared for the workshop to share with the workshop friends. And here you can beautify. Sometimes some of the user they find difficulty in HTML tagging, so there is a very good website that is called www.3schools.com, and here you will find all kinds of HTML. You can test it here, and then you can paste the same code here in the introductory text with HTML coding. So let me show you. So you can see here, this is the website where you can go and try yourself. So I am just clicking on try yourself, and it will show the editor, where left side you can add the content and right side have a preview. So I am going to change the title of the page. For example, here videos, workshop videos, I'll give the name here, and virtual workshop on DSpace. This will be my heading, and the paragraph I am going to write as the videos are prepared for the workshop participants to share in order to ensure maximum learning about DSpace. So this is my introductory test, and what I have to do, I will simply copy this text, or you can run it also, so it will show at the right, and I'll just copy this and go back to my introductory text and paste it here. So when you add this information, likewise you can add like sidebar text, the same information I'm adding, and then you can add the logo also, as we added for another collection. So let me take some other this time. Okay, I'm taking the same, so you see here, and then click on next. So what will happen, it is again asking who will be the authorized e-people to submit the collection to this item to this collection. So I am adding one email ID, and then I'll just click on next. So you see here, as while creating the collection, we defined that it will pass through one accept, reject, edit metadata step. So now it is asking who will be the mediator, or who will be in between the item and collection to check the metadata and submit the document, or accept or reject the document before it goes to the repository. So I have added the email. So this is the administrator, since I have only one e-people, but in case you have created many e-people in your library and you want to add any staff, so that staff, if any item is submitted to the repository, first it will come to the staff for checking the metadata, and then it will go to the administrator for final submission. So now click on next, and now it is ready for update. Now you just click on update. So now you can see that I have created the two collections, and you can see here this is my top level community, and below that there are two collections, DSpace workshop videos and e-newsletter. So hope I have been able to make you understand how to create the community and how to create the collection. In next video we will see how to add the item to different collection, and also we will see that how to edit and delete the items in next videos. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and keep watching all the videos on Librarian Guide.